Men behave differently when they want to win a woman. Someone becomes excessively noisy and conspicuous, someone, on the contrary, as if disappearing, and someone near constantly, attentive, caring. Today we will deal with what a man does when he really wants to be with you. In fact, it is difficult to understand, especially if you are important not just attention, but real intimacy, the one that is not created in one evening and does not end in a couple of days. Today I want to talk to you about things that lie deeper than superficial flirting, deeper than words and promises. We'll get into what a man actually does when he wants to get you, not because he's bored, not for sport, but because you've become something more to him. This video isn't about seduction techniques or how to test a man. It's about attention, intuition, and understanding the male soul. It's about what Jung called the shadow, the hidden part of our personality that we rarely show the world, but which drives our most important decisions. Watch to the end, not to learn how to play, but to learn how a man feels when you've really touched his heart, and how you can recognize it if you look closely. Carl Jung once said, "What we do not realize in ourselves, we meet as fate." This applies to relationships as well. We often don't understand why a person who seemed interested suddenly disappears. Or vice versa, why someone we didn't notice is suddenly there for us at the very right moment. These are not accidents. This is a reflection of internal processes, ours and theirs. When a man wants to get you, he can behave completely unpredictably. Not because he's playing around, but because his own feelings have taken him by surprise. Man is a creature who has been taught from childhood to be strong, restrained, invulnerable. But falling in love is a blow to those inner beliefs. It's chaos. It's weakness. It's fear of rejection. And that's when it gets interesting. He won't tell you right away that he cares about you. He'll show you without realizing he's already showing you. He'll be around more than he needs to be. He will start to talk not only about himself, but take a real interest in you. He will memorize what you like. He may even begin to change in little things, but it will be a real effort for him. Jung believed that a man begins to grow when he encounters something that frightens him. For a man, falling in love is just such an encounter. He is drawn to you and afraid at the same time. He takes a step and backs away. He wants to be with you, but he doesn't know how to admit it yet. Even to himself. You know that feeling when a man is near you but you don't know what he wants. When you feel the look, the intonation, his presence, but there are no direct words to confirm the hunch. Many of us have gone through this. Especially after 40, when we have experience under our belt. We know how easy it is to be fooled, how easy it is to mistake interest for temporary excitement. And how painful it is to realize later that everything that seemed special was just a passing game. That's why it's so important to learn to recognize the authentic. Something that doesn't scream itself. That which shows up in consistency, in actions, not words. In participation, in sensitivity, in being present without pressure. This is the male desire to be with you. And you will feel it. If you stop waiting for spectacular gestures and begin to observe how a man makes you a part of his inner world. Why does a man even seek a woman? Out of a desire to possess, out of fear of loss, out of a desire to prove his strength. Sometimes yes, but then it goes away quickly. But if he seeks her because he feels real around you, then it doesn't go away. Jung wrote, "We attract into our lives those who help us become whole." Sometimes it is a woman, calm, confident, honest, becomes a mirror for a man. And for the first time in a long time he sees in this reflection of himself. And then he stays. Not because he has to, not because it is convenient, but because his soul has found peace. When a man really wants to achieve you, it is not immediately visible. He will not stand under the windows with a guitar or write passionate confessions every night. At least, not a man who really wants to build a deep connection with you and not just win you as a trophy. The real interest is in the details. It is in these details, in the smallest actions, in the tone, in the look, in the purity of the messages, that the whole truth is hidden. Jung said that symbols and signs of the unconscious are more important than words. What this means in life is this. When a man wants to be with you, he will begin to act before he even realizes it. And it's through these actions that you can understand more than any confession. Imagine this situation. You've just met. A couple of conversations, maybe a chance meeting, work communication, or you were introduced by common acquaintances. And then he starts showing up around you from time to time. Unobtrusively, but with interest. He asks about something you mentioned in conversation. Something you seem to have long forgotten. He suddenly remembers the name of your favorite movie. Or says, "You seem to like mint, don't you?" When he orders your tea. You didn't tell him that on purpose. It wasn't important. But he remembered. Because a man who wants to be with a woman becomes attentive. That's the first sign. He listens to you. He doesn't just hear you, he absorbs you. Because everything about you becomes meaningful to him. Even things that others would call trivial. Jung said, we don't see things as they are. We see them as we are. When a man begins to see you as the woman he wants to be with, everything you say, everything you do, begins to resonate within him. He doesn't just listen, he gets into it. Have you ever noticed how a man who is truly in love changes in the presence of a woman he cares about? He becomes softer, even if he's still strong on the outside. He starts to care, not loudly, but in the little things. He wonders how your day went. He offers to help. He tries to be helpful without being intrusive. This is the second important sign. Participation, presence, caring. He doesn't disappear for days without explanation. He doesn't leave questions unanswered. He doesn't keep you guessing. He gives you a sense of security. Even if not yet with the words "I am yours," but already with the actions "I am there for you." You probably know how hard it is to find a man who is not afraid of responsibility, not afraid to honestly show that he cares, because such a man is no longer playing. He's intentional. And that's something else entirely. Many women, especially after 40, went through stages of disappointment, when words did not coincide with actions, when "I love you" was replaced by coldness, when it seemed to you finally, and then all disappeared, without even leaving an explanation. Do you know that feeling? When it seems like everything was sincere and then there's silence? When you don't understand what went wrong? Jung said, we all encounter the shadow side of love, and it is only by passing through it that we recognize the light of true affection. And it's true, because a man who wants to not just impress you, but become a part of your life, he doesn't disappear, he stays, even if it's hard for him, even if he's not sure you'll reciprocate. Here are some clear signs that a man really wants to be with you. For real. He initiates communication. He writes, calls, invites, doesn't just reply, starts first. He listens to you and remembers your tastes, habits, what makes you happy and what bothers you. He's reliable. Even if he's busy, he lets you know he's mindful of you. He offers, not demands. Help, support, meetings he does it gently, respecting your boundaries. He's there for you when you're not at your best. Not just when you are beautiful and smiling, but when you are struggling. And that's when he becomes especially attentive. You feel, next to him, you don't have to be someone else. He accepts you. And that's the surest proof of his intentions. You've probably heard this advice. Or maybe you've used it yourself. Be mysterious. Don't show that you like him. Disappear for a couple days. Let him think he's lost. A lot of women truly believe that if you're unavailable, a man will go for it. And indeed, he does. He perks up. He writes. He remembers you're there. He shows up. But then what happens? He gets you. And then he disappears. It's like everything that was important loses value once it's in his hands. Sound familiar? Let's find out why this happens. And most importantly, how to stop being a trophy and become a choice. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will control your life. And you will call it destiny." There is a simple but very powerful mechanism at work deep in everyone's psyche, the scarcity effect. When something becomes rare, it automatically seems more valuable. It's not logic. It's a sense of scarcity that brings out the anxiety, excitement in us. It's like it's now or never. It works with things and people too. If a woman disappears, doesn't respond, shows coldness, a man may feel a surge of interest. But only because his self-esteem has been jeopardized. He doesn't know what's happening to you. He's afraid you're drifting away. And at this point, he doesn't want you, he wants control. Imagine a sale at the store. You see an item you wouldn't even notice on a normal day. But now it's the last one. And you feel like you have to take it. Now. So you buy it. And at home, you look at it and you think, why? It's the same with a man. He got it. He worked hard. He feels like a winner. But as soon as it's just you, without the thrill, without the excitement, the interest wanes. Not because you're not valuable, but because all the interest was based on a sense of scarcity. And as soon as the scarcity is gone, so is the drive. That's not love. It's the chase. A lot of women have experienced this. And it's very painful. Because at some point, you sincerely hoped that he saw you as more than a mystery. That there was a real affection behind his desire. But it turned out to be just a sporting interest. You may say, but I tried. I did the right thing. I wasn't pushy. I didn't call first. I didn't open up too quickly. Yes, you did the right thing. But by whose rules? Those rules are designed for conquest. But not for building relationships. Would you want to be attracted to someone because of scarcity? Or because of your personality? Your depth? Your maturity? Your warmth? Your femininity? Your wisdom? Do you want someone around you who wants you as a person, not as a rare prize? That's the main difference between someone who pursues you because you have become his inner choice, and someone who just wants to get something that isn't his yet. There is an interesting observation in Jungian psychology. When a man makes a choice not under pressure but of his own free will, he begins to justify that choice. This means that a man who calmly, consciously chooses you will then see more and more good in you. He will become attached. He will become invested. He will see your strengths and even your weaknesses as part of the woman he has chosen to love. And if his choice is made in excitement, amidst scarcity, fear, anxiety, then you will quickly become normal. Just like any other. And he will leave not because there is something wrong with you, but because he originally chose not you, but the thrill. That's why the "I'll be cold" strategy doesn't work in the long run. Yes, it can get attention. Yes, it can turn him on. But not because he felt love, but because he felt threatened. And a man who is truly ready for a relationship doesn't respond to cold. He is looking for warmth, reliability, honesty, gradualness, because he himself is the same. And he doesn't need to be teased, to disappear, to be kept on the hook. He sees value in a woman who opens up not quickly but sincerely, who respects herself and gives respect to him, who doesn't play scarcity but becomes a choice. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the Flow of Thoughts channel. The next video may be the next step for you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again.